In today's podcast, I would like to talk about 10 ways how narcissists use future faking to manipulate. Future faking is a very effective tool for narcissists to keep their victims stuck in a relationship with them or to attract and bond with them in the first place. Once the victim has taken the bait and is caught in their mousetrap, so to speak, they will use it as a means to keep stringing them along with more fake promises than they have already given. Why is future faking so effective? Because it's often very personalized, and they will take advantage of your hopes, dreams, and wishes to make you believe in it. While it's normal to talk about the future as a couple, narcissists will do so with much greater intensity. It's important to not lose sight of reality in these moments and ask yourself, what do they already bring to the table to back up their plans and ideas with? Narcissists have a talent to invite you into a shared fantasy and make you believe in it too, because you will believe in their potential over what they can already provide you with, which is often not much. You need to understand that narcissists often firmly believe in their own lies. They live their lives partly based on a fantasy and delusion. And the worst you can do to a narcissist is to pull both of their feet back to the ground and confront them with the reality of a situation. So without further ado, here are 10 ways how narcissists use future faking. When you get to know the narcissist, you don't know each other well enough at the start. So their attempts to future fake are, at that stage, usually less personal. They usually make big suggestions instead of promises. For instance, the narcissist will suggest to take you out to a special or expensive place one day, or to go on a vacation or day trip with you. If they do this months in advance, do not believe a single word they say. They are already luring you into an ideal future with them, without even having created the foundation. And you start daydreaming of the two of you walking across the Rialto Bridge in Venice or on the beach of Bali. Future faking creates very strong and vivid images in our heads. Sometimes they hang up postcards or pictures of a beach as a constant reminder to reinforce this visualization in your head. But it could also be the other way around, that you are the one making these suggestions, because maybe the narcissist has created enough of a pity ploy, telling you how lonely they are, and it's been such a long time since their last vacation. So you want to make them happy. They will easily agree to your idea to go on a trip with you, but will never follow through. You will often find that happening with people who have an avoidant attachment style. Narcissists tend to be avoidant, but keep in mind that not every avoidant is a narcissist. And talking about being avoidant, this leads me to my next point. Some of them have absolutely no interest in getting together with you in the first place. And by that, I'm not even talking about dating or getting into a serious relationship with you. No, I just mean casually hanging out as friends. Just asking for a coffee together. They will accuse you of cornering them and putting them under pressure, make you believe you're selfish and too demanding. It's pure gaslighting. Strangely, they will keep on making these suggestions, though, telling you you'll see each other one day when they are ready. Right now, they just have other stuff to take care of. But don't mind flirting with you like you're already deep into a relationship with them. If this happens, they are most likely entertaining somebody else. I literally had this happening to me one time and ended up in a texting situationship with a guy. It was exhausting, which shows you don't even have to be in close proximity to a narcissist to get trauma bonded and abused the same way. Narcissists are all about your attention and wasting your time. You will encounter this specifically in online dating or when you have an online friendship with them. They love texting for their personal entertainment on a boring evening or while they are at work. But don't you ask for a phone call or even worse, a video chat. They want to talk to you on their terms and have more control via texting. I have another podcast about the red flags you'll notice when you are dealing with a narcissist in a long-distance situationship, and I will put the link in the description below. Some narcissists have catfish profiles and will use future faking to keep the illusion running that there's something real about them. They do this often to financially exploit their targets, but will never show their true face, let alone, of course, meet up with you. Some of them are still married or in another commitment you won't know about. You will notice that they start breadcrumbing you after some very intense interest, only to keep stringing you along. Never get involved with somebody who is still married or only separated. You will only end up hurting yourself. Go no contact and let them figure it out. Next, if you are headed toward an intimate relationship with a narcissist, chances are they are trying to move in with you together, especially when they are transitioning from one relationship to the next. They like to fantasize about the perfect home together. I remember how my ex-partner would drag me to a house viewing in the neighborhood and made a clown out of himself in front of the real estate agent. Or he would constantly tell me about the house we would have together in California with a shared office space. Meanwhile, he could barely save $600 to pay his rent each month. They may show you pictures of furniture, go with you to IKEA or other markets, even if it's completely out of their budget. And that leads me to my next point. They talk about raising a family and having children with you, despite the fact that they may not want to have any children at all. Some narcissists won't even tell you that they can't have children anymore, only to string you along trying, or hide the ones they have with others. They basically will tell you whatever you want to hear. And while you're looking at the perfect home together, they will tell you things like, "This could be our daughter's room, and in the backyard I'm going to play baseball with our son." They truly want to make you believe in this perfect Hallmark Christmas movie you could both live in, and like playing with your feelings that way. But remember, they don't make good parents. Children are merely an extension of themselves to gain more power and control or attention from everybody else. They are like a guarantee to obtain additional rights or benefits. If they cannot love you, they cannot love their children. And hurting a parent inevitably hurts them too. Another thing they do, and this usually relates to the low-life broke narcissist who's after your money, they come up with wild ideas and plans as to how they want to win big in life and get rich. Narcissists are all about getting rich fast because they lack the focus, patience, and consistency, as well as the social skills to achieve wealth built on a solid foundation. They are also not good investors. They make their investments based on short-term thinking and instant gratification. And those are exactly the kind of narcissists who will be after your money. They may start lending smaller amounts here and there and promise you to pay them back. And they most likely will, until they have built enough trust with you and start reaching for the bigger chunks, of which you see no payback at all. Meanwhile, you may catch them buying other useless stuff or feed their addictions instead of paying off their debts. But because you still believe in their potential and they tell you, once I've reached my goal or once I have a new job, I'll pay you back immediately, you just keep on giving. But that day never comes. And that goes hand in hand with them lying to you about getting new qualifications or getting a new job. They may even fake job applications or appointments for an interview while having a good time with somebody else. They will send you a quick text saying, "I'm off to a job interview, wish me luck." The one they never heard back from, of course. Over time, you become their caretaker, pay their bills, their rent. You pay for their school or training to improve themselves and hopefully find a job, but strangely, nothing ever bears any fruit. Another thing they like doing is to brag with their connections to other people and what they will get out of it, especially in business. Narcissists like to associate themselves with important, popular, or even famous people. But these connections don't even exist or aren't as strong as they think they are. And if so, they've usually burned that bridge somehow a long time ago. The average narcissist doesn't have any friends and cannot maintain important connections. They're losing people and jobs left and right because they have slighted the other person. Or anyone who's successful, decent, and stable wouldn't want to associate themselves with a narcissist long term. It's too stressful or too embarrassing even. But there's a caveat to that. Rest assured that those very few they call their ride or die friends are of the same kind and narcissists as well. Because where else does a narcissist get their abusive behavior validated if not from one of their own? Not even realizing that they are most likely playing each other too. Narcissists also like to charm and kiss asses to get what they want without putting in the actual work. Which leads me to my next point. If you're a hard-working person, narcissists may promise you a raise or a promotion, a more interesting job opportunity, or project. But that's just to make you work even harder for them. That promise will never be kept. Some of them simply want to sabotage your progress, especially when it comes to your career. I will link another podcast about that in the description below. And to give you a personal example, I was dealing with this narcissistic movie producer whom I had known for a very long time. He postponed one meeting after another to discuss a screenplay with me. And ultimately, on the day that he proposed to finally meet me, he never showed up. That's what they do. They think they are too important for you, even though they are the ones showing an interest in setting up these future dates to begin with. They won't even have the decency to apologize for wasting your time. It's disrespectful, really. But trust me, you're going to have the last laugh. Because one day you might become successful, and then they realize they have burned that bridge with you. Like I said many times before, they aren't good investors and don't think long-term. Narcissists are out for short-term, instant payoff, even in business. That's why they run a lot of businesses into the ground. Now, I kept the most obvious sign of future faking for last. After all the crap you've been dealing with and they see you pulling away, a narcissist will give you a fake apology and promises to change. But usually they only change temporarily. Like I said, they like to kiss asses, and you can literally feel an ick when it happens. They will never change for real. Narcissists can't have a real connection to another human being. It's all about securing their narcissistic supply. Never mind if you walk away from them. They are simply monkey branching to the next one they've already been grooming in the background. And if that doesn't work, then the law of attraction definitely will. Beware of the spiritual narcissist. I personally do believe in the law of attraction, but it takes a lot more than just talking about it, listening to tarot card readers, or hanging up nice pictures to visualize your future. You have to put in the actual work, and I'm talking about honest work, over a long period of time usually. Narcissists are not mastering the law of attraction because they scheme and con their ways through life. And how can you attract the right things if you can't stay positive around a narcissist yourself? There is no future with them. All they know is how to manipulate, sabotage, and bet on their own luck. And in the end, they only sabotage their own future, just like their relationship with you. Narcissists are very eager to burn this imprint of a future together into your mind. But remember, if you stand with one leg in the past and one leg in the future, you're pissing all over today. And oh my God, aren't they always dwelling on the past? That's why they get nothing done. Another problem future faking creates is that it reinforces your trauma bond. That's why it's so important to go no contact and heal from narcissistic abuse. Once you've walked away from the narcissist, you may have these constant reminders of the life you wanted to create together. For instance, if you finally decide to buy a house or look for a new apartment on your own. Or when they come back to hoover you, reminding you of the good times and the few positive memories you've created together. They will play on your feelings and bring up the plans you used to have to manipulate you back into that toxic and abusive cycle in which they keep you as small and unfulfilled as before. It's important to keep healthy boundaries with people and not allow them to infiltrate the mind. You can achieve this by observing whether their words are being met with actions over time or which achievements they have already had in their life. Are they financially stable? Do they have a lot of broken relationships? Are they easily triggered when questioned about the future or confronted with your reality? Don't get sucked into their fairy tale. Narcissists are preying on your dreams and play with your hopes. But hopes are often only based on fear, anxiety, or desperation, especially if you've been around them long enough. Somehow we also ended up gaslighting ourselves that way. They end up wasting your time, money, energy, and other resources. They break your trust and spirit, and you become very insecure over time. Your mental and physical health will be so affected by their abuse. Sometimes victims have to work for two or lose their jobs because they cannot focus anymore and have absolutely no energy left to do basic tasks. How's that supposed to help you working on your future dreams? And if you bring up any concerns, they call you too demanding, guilt trip or love bomb you again to stop your complaining, which is just future faking you again because, as we all know, the love bombing isn't real. You need to keep in mind that narcissists are only committed to meeting their own needs for narcissistic supply. Their commitment doesn't involve creating a happy future full of sunshine and rainbows with you. Therefore, I guess we can commonly agree that the only future prospect they cannot fake is that there will be more abuse and exploitation on the horizon if you stay with them. All of this being said, always remember that past behavior is the best predictor of future behavior. Thank you very much for listening, and have a great day.